very good morning to one and all present here. Myself, Hani Sultana, Assistant Professor in the Department of Management Studies, SNS College of Technology. And as a part of lecture series, it is a part 2 video which is I'm going to present on the topic regression analysis. As you all know that I'm handling a subject operations management in the second semester. So I'm just giving a hint that regression analysis, can you just by looking into this picture, what is the thing which is first thing which is hindering in mind? See, like one straight line, we in last semester and in economics we have seen the upward curve, downward curve, and the sloping curve and equilibrium, point of equilibrium. Here if you see like a straight line where we have lot of dotted points are there. So by looking into this picture, we have see, if you are implementing a data, just for your information, and if the responses are recorded, for example, for every end of the semester, regarding the faculty, we are asking a feedback, right? So for the feedback for the specific faculty, which is where they are handling a subject, we will be giving a ranking. So if the ranking falls equally, it is distributed, all those dotted lines will be fall in the line. If there is a variation, if there is any variation in the feedback, those lines will be reflected outside of the line. So this is the term we call it as an outlier, right? So this is, we are going to see regression, we normally call it as a line of fit. See, like we are testing the impact. So we are testing the impact on one variable or the other variable. So what is that one variable on the other variable? The one variable which is independent, we call it as independent and dependent variable. Independent variable, it is the independent of itself, like it is different of from some other thing. Like for example, all these demographic variables, for example gender, age, annual income, all this fall under independent variables, because it is from person to person, the data will change. So we call it as independent. What is dependent? It is dependent on some independent variables. All these three factors, for example, if we are talking about the feedback. So these feedback characteristics are these things which is dependent on the independent of the students, independent variable students, right? So recap, we all know that like we have seen the trend analysis in the last class, and jumping into this case, this case will brief you that how this regression analysis can be calculated and how it is useful for the operations management, right? See, a researcher got see, briefly I am briefing this case. See, a researcher is interested to test the impact of the classroom management strategies employed by the teachers. See, for example, they are teaching chemistry concepts. So 4 factors per hypothesis, that is 4 factors are tested. So these 4 factors are dependent factors are tested. So what are those 4 factors? Managing classroom behavior, teaching techniques, instructional planning, and support system. So working with the parents. So all those things were be tested in respective to the chemistry subject. So a group of 120 senior high school students were made responses. See, for example, these responses are the data, we call it as the data. So 120 are independent variables. All these 4 factors will denote as a dependent vectors. So right, so see, what is the problem? Analyze and interpret the results. Just identification, this is a scaled data. So if we, for the purpose of using a regression analysis, we normally use scaled data. Scaled data means we can able to calculate the means. So statement of the problem here, I am just, for example, I am to test we are using 4 factors or 4 variables, that is 4 dependent variables to test the data, right? Then we can use so solution is we can use regression analysis to test the impact. So here step 1 is to identify the parameters. So we have identified the parameters, set the data values, and calculate using formula. So I have given here the the picture of which is calculated in the system generated output, that is SPSS. But when we calculate using manually, we have a formula. So this is the formula for using this is the regression equation formula. Y is equal to a plus bx plus e. So y is it a dependent variable, a is a alpha variable, b is a beta, x is a independent variable, and e denotes the error term. So after calculating using a statistical method, these are the parameters or the results which we have gotten to the regression analysis. Now how we can able to write the results? See, we know that regression equation formula is y is equal to a plus bx plus e. Here y we are going to calculate a, it is a constant. See, constant variable is 60 plus 286, right? Plus we are adding the classroom behavior, that is 18% of classroom behavior is impacting on the chemistry classroom. Next, so we are going to give this 0.82 managing classroom behavior plus 5.519 of teaching technique plus 0.773 of planning in support system, and working with parents it is 1.641. So here nearly 55% of teaching technique it is impacting on the classroom chemistry classroom behavior. So this is how we are going to calculate the regression analysis. So thank you for listening. And before that, knowledge checks, regression analysis is used to test the impact of x and y, that is impact of independent variable on dependent variable. And thank you for listening, and this is what the summary we have come across: independent, dependent regression equation and simple linear regression, and reaches through the SNS institutions, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, YouTube and LinkedIn pages. Thank you for listening the lecture.